Cleopatra. A lot of people have been misinformed about Cleopatra and don't know the origins or the history of Cleopatra. So I like to finally be the person who tells the truth, regardless of what feathers it ruffled, because it's all about the truth. It's not about how we feel or our comfort. It's about the truth. And I think that is what we need to discuss today. In my honest opinion, based upon artifacts, documents, based upon her bust found not too long ago, based upon paintings, based upon oral tradition, based upon her bloodline and lineage, based upon region that she was in, and based upon the documentations that we found, it's safe to say that Cleopatra was not a black woman. I know people are going to get mad at me for saying it, but I'm going to explain to you why it's believed that she's not a black woman. Or at the worst, she's a biracial woman, but she's not a black woman. And I'm going to attach the bust right here for you to see the bust, which is her statue, and you tell me if this is a black woman. This is this is the statue of Cleopatra. Tell me if this is a black woman or not. It could be a black woman who is biracial, but not like all the way black. If you know what I'm saying. But in this case, looking at this statue, looking at the region, and then I'm about to give you the oral history of who she is and who her family is. You tell me if this was a black woman. I think there's so many other amazing queens, like Queen Nzinga. There's queens like Nefertiti, queens like Queen Taye, queens like, the queens of Kush. There's so many beautiful, amazing black queens that are of the real Egyptian origin. Cleopatra was not of the real Egyptian origin. She's an invader. Her family are invaders. They came into a lower Egypt, not upper Egypt, where the actual kingdom of Kemet was. They came into lower Egypt. So I'm going to show you a map of where these Macedonians came from, also known as Greeks, came into lower Egypt. So they came into lower Egypt and they settled down by Alexander, or Alexander the Conqueror, as we would know him. Conquered Egypt, I believe, 320 something BC. And at the time, his general, he needed to have somebody established as a person, as a head, to keep control of Egypt. So he chose his general, Ptolemy, to basically be the king of Egypt. So Cleopatra comes from his bloodline. It comes from the comes from the Greek bloodline. She comes from that bloodline. Tongue tie. So Cleopatra comes from that bloodline of the general who is now placed as the king of Egypt, of Lower Egypt. He really wasn't the king of Upper Egypt. These was 800 miles away. They didn't get that far down to travel to take control of that. So until about 600 something BC, or I'm not quite sure exactly, but they didn't take control of Lower Egypt. You know what I'm saying? But by that time, all the dynasties of the real pharaohs were pretty much out of there by, I believe, the 26th or 30th dynasty or something like that. But I would say around 300 something BC, Alexander the Great and his general, Ptolemy, conquered Lower Egypt by the Mediterranean. The area up there. I'm going to show you on the map where they conquered that. They didn't go down here. They just stayed up here. So they conquered right there, next to the Mediterranean Sea, where they can cross the border and they can go to the Middle East. So they